Hello folks, it's the Grub back here once again with another episode of KSP, here at the KSC. Not the first time I've done that. Uh, as you know, we got our geosynchronous orbit last time over the poles, and we were going to shoot for the moon. Well, I had already started recording an episode doing that, and then everything went Tango Urilla on me. Let's see here. Does it have all my flags? As you see here, here's all the debris that we've got just scattered around. We've had some issues trying to get out. We got a flag there, and then the flag right there. Both of them are just off of KSC. And then at my third one, I managed to actually get up, and it was high over. It was right around here. Still had some issues. It started cartwheeling about halfway through the air, and I finally got control over it. It was starting to come down, but I managed to get my apoapsis high enough so that, and my periapsis to be so that I would just kind of skip through the atmosphere. But before I could get to that point, everything crashed on me, and I lost all that footage, which I'm kind of upset about because that was pretty awesome. But let's come back here and take a look at the ship that we're using, and I gotta make some adjustments to it anyhow. This is the Bgrubz missions. As I explained in my previous video, Bgrubz is one of my characters. He predates back to Star Wars Galaxies. But he also is in my tour. He is my Twi'lek smuggler in tour. Yeah, as I said, I was kind of giving in the previous episode, I just kind of gave a rundown of the characters I've used so far. You know, the Artrid, he was a character from my Galaxy days. You know, I can't quite recall all of what the characters were, but for Galaxies. But he was a priest in WoW. Artrid was a priest in WoW. He was a warrior or fighter in Guild Wars, a defender or guardian in Guild Wars 2, and a Jedi Knight guardian DPS in Tor. So yeah, there's the history, brief back history on the character names. Let's see here, just making sure I got these all done. Let's see, last time this wobbled pretty well. Let me see if I can't do something about that. Maybe that'll stop it from doing the jiggly. Okay, so now we're ready for launch. Let's see if we can't get this thing up and out of here. Because we want to do a flyby of the moon. We want to try and get some sciences so that we can start unlocking rechargeable battery, solar panels, so we can start making things that will allow us to put satellites in orbit. So I can start making my satellite network and get us a... Oh, Bob, I didn't want you in there. Oh, well. Somehow Bob managed to squeeze his way in to be the first Kerbal to fly by the moon. Originally, it was going to be this guy, Ribbery. As you see here, I got him he's only managed to get one mission, so Bob managed to squeeze himself away on a couple of missions without me noticing. Very sneaky, Bob. Very sneaky. Guess he's got some big shoes to try and fill with Jeb gone. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this thing up into the air and hopefully out from Kerbal. Here we go. did this last time too, where it decided it was going to dance. That's why I restructured that, but it doesn't look like that did anything. It'll dampen itself out here, so it'll be fine. 20 hours of electricity. I'm hoping that's enough. Just drop those. I'm going to wait a little longer before I do my turn. Okay. I'm going to slowly start turning. Okay, so I'm going ahead. I've got ourselves kind of in an orbit there. The booster stage managed to get us up here. I'm just going to wait to see if I can't circularize it. It's going to be a pretty high orbit at 131. That's not too bad, though. It should give us a good push out for the moon. Now we got rid of that big ass booster we had back there. Should be able to stay a little more steady on, not move around as much. So yeah, I'm just gonna work around till I get ourselves circulate out here on our orbit, and then we can start planning our trip to the moon. So I'll be back once we've got that. Actually, I might be able to go ahead. Let me just try and burn for the moon right now. See what happens. From what I understand, as long as you do it when he just comes over the planet, you should be able to get a encounter with the moon. I'm gonna give it a shot. No guts, no glory. Okay, well we got ourselves a little intercept there. Okay, let's see if I can't tweak that a little bit. I'm trying to do it while still getting a good turn back. Oh, that's gonna shoot us out of, yeah, we can't do that one. Yeah, that would be too long. Alright, I'm gonna sit here and play with this until I get a decent encounter here. Like I said, I want to try and get low enough so that we can get some science coming in high and then get down low. So I still got plenty of time till we get to this point. So I'll continue to play around with this. Be back once I'm done. Okay, I think we got ourselves one here. That's because it'll take us about under 50 meters over the moon. I believe that should get us close enough for in. And then we'll swing around and come in here, and then we can start our periapsis, start our burn here to bring ourselves back under. And that should be more than enough fuel to do that and get us back home. We hope. So here we go. I got a minute 55 until we reach it. It's going to give us 3 minutes out from that point. set us a target here so that we have it there. Just so that we are ready for it when we get there. Hopefully we'll be able to transmit some of the science back. But, yeah. Off we go. To the moon. Alright, we are getting closer to our point. We have 3 minutes out. Go ahead and turn back our SAS back on so that we can control. Let's get down to our burn node. It's only going to take us about 90, we'll say 92 Delta V. And I still have 466 Delta V on this, so I may have overbuilt this rocket. But I wasn't sure if I was going to make it out of the atmosphere there. It doesn't give me a time, so I'll probably just burn it once it gets down there. Start about 2 seconds. Burn. Okay, there we go. 29 seconds then. They say do half on each side. So 15, I'll go ahead and say about 15, 14 seconds we can do our burn. Just kind of... Oops. Okay, well. Okay, did that do it? Pretty damn close. We'll take it. In fact, we're closer to the moon this time. Okay. And since we're way out here, I thought, why not? I don't believe I have all the EVA science here. Just make sure. Okay, I do. Never mind. Put you back in. Do I have all the capsule science from out here? All the crew reports? No, I don't. There we go. Alright. And, I'll be back once we get to the moon. That's going to be about 3 hours. I think at about 90 times speed, that's closer to 4 or 5 minutes, so... I'll be back when we get close. Alright folks, you may have seen me in there messing with the maneuver nodes. I was sitting there thinking, you know, I got so much Delta V left over. I've got 2,128 Delta V left over. I don't believe I'm going to need all of that. Just to get back to Kerbal. So I decided, why not just go ahead and put ourselves in an orbit around the moon? I mean, I've got, you know, 16 hours of electricity left. So by the time we get to our maneuver node, it's in 3 hours. So yeah, I probably would have my, you know, do a couple little quick passes over the moon, get a little more mapping done of it. So I decided to go ahead with that. Let me get some more sciences. We always want more sciences. Alright, we got 15 minutes till we make our change over. And if you want to understand, those can be a little tricky if you time warp through them. So I'm going to go ahead and get close enough. Any second now. Bing! There we go. Oh, so we're going to put us in a nice orbit to do some mapping. Awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and get ourselves turned towards our burn node so that we're ready to burn when we have to. It'll be a 9-second burn, so 4 or 5 seconds into it. So we'll be back once we're ready to do that burn. Well, no we won't. I forgot. We got to do some science from high over the moon here. Okay. Do we have line of sight with KSC? No, we do not. Let me go ahead and deploy the mapper though. Since we don't have line of sight with KSC yet, we can't do anything. I am going to go ahead though and I'll take this. No. I'll hold off. We may have KSC line of sight a little bit later. And of course I completely lost my, yeah. So yeah, we'll be back once we're ready. Alright, well we're coming up on our node here. Got 9 hours of power left. Already starting to get a little bit of mapping of the moon. We'll get a little more power here when we fire up the engines to insert ourselves into this orbit. And hopefully, at some point, KSC will turn towards us and we could fire off some of our sciences, but let's see, are we close enough? Yes, near the moon, good. And then once we got ourselves in orbit, I'll take Bob out and have him do his thing. Okay, so we want to go for about a 5-second burn. Alright, we are in our orbit around the moon, and I believe that KSC has not come into view yet. So go ahead and close that back off. And we got ourselves a little bit more power there from our burn. Let's go ahead and let Bob out so he can do his EVA. So that was the Midlands. And we'll just do a couple of orbits. Go ahead and just power that up a little bit there. Let's recycle that one because I think I can get more from a crew report near the moon than I can from that. Yeah, 15 versus 1.2. And once KSC is in a line of sight with us, I'll try transmitting what data I have. KSC should be coming into line of sight here soon. Just wait a few moments. Should be right over there, in fact. Okay, yeah, it's still just off the planet there. Okay, I am going to have to go ahead and start my burn out of here. Okay, that should be good enough to get us out. Go ahead and I will conclude our mapping for now. So I can kind of save up on some power. Get us turned into the direction we need to be. And get ourselves out of here. Okay, we are out. We got 7.5 hours of power left. Let's go ahead and get him out on another EVA just to get some more as we can. See, we're over the Midlands this time, so we'll go ahead and put that. No, if we already have Midlands. Okay, well, screw you too. Okay, and we will just go until we are out. In all actuality, there's only one item I really just want to transmit, and that is this data here. Because for some reason I can't actually transmit it. There is none there, okay. Unless I haven't... Let's just take a look at it. Let's run the map here. So yeah, we got almost about one full orbit around the moon of data from there. Not a whole lot, but something to look at. Alright, well, I will be back once we are on our way back to Kerbal. Guess we're not going to be able to transmit anything, so... I guess once we get to that point, I will have to go collect all my sciences back up. And I'm foreseeing it's going to be a close one. Getting back, but we hopefully will make it back. I'll stop trying to transmit, because I'm not going to have enough power to transmit anything and still have enough back. Okay, Bill may have some trouble there. It put me right back into a orbit for the moon when I was escaping it. Now I gotta try and see if I can't get myself... This is not gonna be good. Bill, you ain't making it back. Yeah, you're screwed, Bill. Best you can do is just send as much science back as you possibly can. Well, like I said, Bill was doomed on that mission. So we have managed to screw up our moon flyby. Just see what how long we can keep him around. But we did manage to get some of the science sent back, so maybe it can be for some good. Probably should have went ahead and just went for the flyby instead of trying to just grab an orbit around it. But I had to go for the orbit because I had the fuel, of course. Next time I'm doing the damn flyby and I ain't getting sidetracked into an orbit. Let's see. Well, we can find out. I believe it's 2 hours without electricity, and then it's Kaputski for the Kerbal. He's going Dutchman. Well, up to 1 hour with no electricity. Bill, start pedaling a bike or something. I'm just gonna crash him into the moon. That way we don't have debris all over the place. And it's finally sunk in. Look at that. He realizes, yeah, I'm not going home. I'll put this down on the moon. Be the first Kerbal on the moon. And the moon shall be his grave. Yep, there it is. Died of air toxicity. After 2 hours of no electricity. So all that's left is just to put this onto the moon. Just let it crash and impact. Let's see, what does it say our impact time is going to be? In about 55 seconds. Or 55 minutes. Well, at this speed, about seconds or so. About a minute. Who knows? Maybe when we get a rover out on the moon, we can try and find Bob's grave. We can just remember where we crashed. And that's why we're gonna watch. See if we can't recall where he landed, where he put down, and we can mark his grave so he is not left forgotten. For he was one of our first heroes. Our first Kerbal in space, if you go by his badges, by his awards he received. The first Kerbal to touch down on Kerbin. The first one to do a dangerous EVA walk. The first to reach an orbit around Kerbin. I'm sure he's also now the first to have received a... He's going to be receiving a posthumous ribbon for being the first Kerbal to orbit the moon, probably. And who knows, maybe he'll get posthumous award for being the first Kerbal to land on the moon. Because, hey, we all know that crashing is really a uncontrolled and spontaneous landing. Doesn't necessarily mean it's got to be a one you can walk away from. So there it is. That's interesting. So, oh no, that was the EVA report. I don't know. Wait, was it? Not sure. But yeah, there we go. But we can go back to the Space Center. He sent us back some science. Bob will be missed. But let's see if his science was enough to bump us up anything. We got 93. And we just need 90. So yes, he did give us enough to give us a little more sciences. Let's see, what do we want? I am going to go with this because I want them panels. See if we can't avoid anything like that in the future. So there we go. Well, that has been our attempt to do a moon flyby that abruptly turned into a moon or orbit, which turned into a suicide mission. Let's take a look here. It says, as we go look back and remember Bob Kerbin fondly. Bob, who went on 4 missions completed, who was 0.16 days worth of missions. He was our first Kerbin in space. He did our dangerous EVA ribbon, meaning that he was living on the wild side, trying to capture that Jebediah vibe there. He was the first Kerbin to EVA around the moon. And the first one to have the moon orbit. The first EVA around Kerbin, on the surface of Kerbin and around Kerbin, as well as the first to land on Kerbin and to orbit it. Bob will be missed, but he passes the torch on to the Kerbals that follow. And this has been the Grub with another KSC, Grub Space Program. keep calling it KSC when I mean KSP. And next time, like I said, we'll actually just go for the moon flyby this time instead of trying to put ourselves in orbit so we can get some more of this data back. But till then, take it easy. Hope you've enjoyed. Bye-bye.